Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't filmed in probably like 2 months, but I've been reading a lot. Probably more in the last 2 months than I've read like the last year. I've actually been reading a lot, but I just have not been in the mood to film. Sorry, my dog is barking. There's deer in my yard and it's driving her crazy. So anyway, I have not been in the mood to film, and I don't really have a reason why. Not sure why that is, because I have really enjoyed some of the books that I've been reading, and you would think I would want to get on here and talk about them, but I just have not been motivated like at all. I've had a really hard winter. I get seasonal depression. This winter has been extra long. It actually snowed here this month, and it never snows in Virginia in April. That's like unheard of. So it's just been a really hard winter. And then last week was probably, and into this week, has probably been the worst week of my entire life. Just kind of been in my head a lot this week. A lot of, thinking about things and stewing over things, and I really have not been talking to people like at all, and I kind of feel the need to talk, and not particularly to an actual person, if that makes any sense. I kind of feel the need just to be chatty and just to talk, but I'm not in the mood yet to actually like converse like with people and have back and forth, if that makes any sense. Let me know if you guys ever go through that, where you kind of feel like you want to talk but you don't really want to talk to another person. I don't know, maybe that's weird. All right, so yeah, let's just get into what I want to make this video about. Rebecca has been on my list for a very long time because I love historical fiction, and yeah, I've been wanting to read it forever. And I finally read it this month? I can't remember. I just finished it recently. I actually listened to the book on Audible, and I absolutely loved it. It was phenomenal. It's probably one of my favorite books. It's definitely in the historical fiction genre, and it's set in like the 1920s or 30s, I'm guessing, because it doesn't actually give you a date, but it's set in England, and it has a very gothic-y, dark feeling about it, kind of a paranormal, if you will, feeling about it, although there isn't an actual ghost in the story. It's basically about a woman who is traveling around Europe as a companion to a very rich lady, and she ends up meeting a widower who had just lost his wife, Rebecca, about a year ago. They end up having a kind of a romance. It's kind of weird, but they end up getting married, and he takes her back to his family estate, which is called Mandalay. Estate is huge and beautiful. There are servants there, but when the woman gets there, and she doesn't have a name, she's completely unnamed through the whole book, but she's the narrator. When she gets there, she feels like there's something off about the place, something's wrong. She feels shadowed by Rebecca. Rebecca was a very popular person. The narrator of the story is having a really hard time feeling like she has to fill the shoes of Rebecca. Amongst all this, there is a mystery that comes about, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but I feel like this book crosses a lot of genres. You have the historical fiction, there's kind of a romance in it, a weird one, but it's still there. It's a thriller, it's a mystery. This book definitely kept my interest. Sometimes with audiobooks, I'll listen to them like just when I'm in the car driving places. But this is one that I would listen to even while I was in the house, like cooking dinner or doing my makeup or whatever. I would always have this on in the background because I was really interested in what was happening. So if you enjoy gothic-y type stories and historical fiction, I think you will really like Rebecca. I would give it 4.75 stars out of 5. So yeah, I definitely loved the book Rebecca. Continuing on with more stuff from Daphne du Maurier, I watched the movie My Cousin Rachel. I haven't read the book, but I definitely think I'm going to. The movie I liked a lot. Again, I really love period piece type movies, historical fiction movies. I think the cinematography in the movie was wonderful. The atmosphere was done perfectly. Again, it's kind of a darker, gothic-y type story. This one I want to say is set earlier than Rebecca, but again, I don't really know the exact time frame of it. But it's about a man who was raised by basically his beloved older cousin. The older cousin gets kind of sick and moves away, I want to say to Italy or somewhere where it's, you know, really sunny. They're in England. And while he's gone, he ends up marrying Rachel. And then the cousin starts writing back home weird, crazy letters accusing Rachel of poisoning him. From there, the story goes on into more things, but I don't really want to give spoilers. But again, this book was a thriller, mystery, historical fiction. It was really well done and a beautiful movie. Moving on to the third thing from Daphne du Maurier, I just went to the library last night and I got this book. It's called Charles Keeping's Book of Classic Ghost Stories. Charles Keeping is actually an illustrator. So he's an illustrator who picked out classic ghost stories to illustrate for this book. And in here there is a story from Daphne du Maurier called The Escort. So I picked that one first out of the book. I read it today. The story is set in World War I and it's about boats. Gosh, how do I describe it without giving too much away? It's about a British boat that comes upon a German submarine, and then another boat comes into the picture to help guide the first boat to safety. It's a really short story. I think it was maybe 7 or 8 pages in this book, and I really enjoyed it. I also found from the library this book by her. It's called The House on the Strand. I had never heard of this book either, and this is about time travel. So this is about a man who I think drinks a potion, and by drinking the potion he's able to go back to the 1400s, and so he kind of creates a double life between his time here and time in this, you know, old English village in the 1400s. And so then you have time travel and historical fiction. And if you're an Outlander fan, like I am, this really sounds perfect. Oh, I almost forgot. I also got from the library the movie The Birds, the Alfred Hitchcock movie from, I don't know, the 50s or the 60s. It's really old. I saw the movie when I was a little kid, and I just recently had my kids read the short story. I didn't know that that story was also by Rebecca du Maurier, but that's a short story that she wrote. And so yeah, I got the movie from the library, and my kids and I are going to watch that this evening and try to compare the movie to the short story, which I'm sure is completely different, but whatever. So yeah, that's another Daphne du Maurier thing I've got going on lately. I guess I've been on a, you know, Daphne kick lately, and I'm really enjoying it. She is quickly becoming one of my favorites. If any of you guys have read any of her stories, I would love to know what you guys thought of them. So yeah, just leave your comments down below if you have any. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.